4,630 pounds, the smart camping little Jayco SLX 224 bunkhouse here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is ideal for someone who's trying to keep the thing size manageable, but really is just looking for the bare necessities and all the essentials inside. You want to spend most of your time outside. This might be a really good one for you. Camp kitchen, power awning with lighting, all kinds of good stuff. And of course, Jayco's best-in-class 2+3 warranty to keep you protected. There's a lot of good things going on in here. This is definitely what I'm going to call an RV nerd preferred brand. Just the combination of smart features in a really good, basic camper. Not everything needs to be a 40-foot fifth wheel. This one just does all the essentials. It does them very, very well. There's things I like. Of course, Jayco's 2+3 warranty. Nobody matches that in this class. Having centralized air in a smaller camper like this is also kind of a standout feature. A lot of brands don't do that. But not only that, the way they've treated their air system to keep your family comfortable. There are campers that are starting to phase out the cold air dump to save a buck here and there. Little things like that are handy because you can dump more air here into your living cabin real fast. Although, obviously, this is more of a one-room cabin, but it still helps disperse that air. But, of course, Jayco's still doing their directional and closable vents. It's just little details like that. Like the fact that this has a far more aggressive lighting package than basically anything else in this class that I've seen. We'll talk about that. Like a good example, if we look here above the bed, which if you're not into that blue light, by the way, you can just turn that off. That doesn't have to be on. But there's 2 lights under that overhead cabinet. There's 2 lights above on the ceiling. That's twice as many as most brands will give you in a bedroom area in a kind of what I call smarter class camper, where it does everything you need and nothing you don't. Jayco always does a little bit more, That's probably why Jayco's been basically the #1 selling camper in its class since 2005 and counting. You'll also find not only are the windows tinted, but we've got these nice blackout pleated shades, but all of the windows will open for airflow. If I pop over here and just kind of peek behind one, you can actually see that. And I like that this big, what I call toothpick window by the bed, it's nice and tall so that you can sit up at night and still see out your window, which is cool, but it can still give you airflow if you want. Now, our what would normally be called dual hanging closets, the one on the right is hanging storage. The one on the left is actually basically like a dresser. There's a shelf in the middle, although you could take that out. Now, you might be noticing something new compared to the previous generation, and the differences here compared to last year are slight, but so nice. You'll see a couple more nice ones outside, like a power jack and propane tank cover. Just little things, smart things. Wired for solar now. How cool is that? I don't think anyone else in this class of camper is doing that standard. Not at Jayco's level, anyway. The TV bracket you see up here, it can also... camper doesn't come with a TV. That's an easy thing to get. And if you notice, this mount could work with any size TV, basically. But that is, it's dismountable, and you can take it outside if you want. But usually in a camper like this class, you tend not to use the, TV stuff much. But over here, we do have our Bluetooth stereo system with HDMI input, which has become relatively the common way to go for most manufacturers. Now, this camper right here, it's kind of an open concept design. Like we've got bunks that my back is standing to right now. We've got this sleeper dinette over here. If we fold that down, we can take a look and see. Obviously, you can fit an extra person there, which is cool because it gives this camper sleeping for 5 to 7. But it does also have that privacy curtain draped across the front bed. So if you want to close that off, you can. It's just those nice little Jayco doing Jayco things that make the difference. Like nice big wide open CPAP stands with household outlets there. And it doesn't have a lot of USB plugs in it, but you can plug a USB adapter in any household outlet and voila, there you go. I'm sorry. Someone actually said once, hey, could you please pronounce that correctly? So voila, there we go. Although now apparently I've turned into the chef from The Little Mermaid. Now, a rather uncommon quality in a smarter class camper like this is that easy lift bed with those struts. And notice how even here, at their most basic level, we have plywood bed decking. We're walking on 5/8 tongue and groove plywood. If you were walking on sunshine up on the roof, you'd be walking on 3/8 plywood decking, which virtually no one does. Luxury fifth wheels out there with full-time RVing warranties don't use plywood roofing. And here it is at Jayco's most basic trailer. doing plywood. Now I'm going to try to open up all the storage I can for you so you can get a good look at all that pocket screwed cabinetry, not stapled cabinet styles, which there's nothing wrong with. It's just that I think it's the idea of good versus better and just what gives you peace of mind. Now that privacy shade there on that window really going to help block out the sunshine when it is screaming hot out, or keep the nosy neighbors away. And remember, we do have tinted windows, you'll see that. But notice their dinette. It is full storage below. Not to mention the easy access cargo doors, which once again, at this more basic price point, is something you don't tend to always find from manufacturers. Now it's at a bit of a funky angle, but if we work our way around the corner over here, you see how there's this large closet pantry space. You know, you could very easily convert that into a measure of hanging space if you needed to. It's kind of set as a pantry right now. But it's just really nice that every little nook and cranny they possibly could, they opened up and they utilized. They didn't let anything go to waste. Most of the time, though, I do believe this is probably how you're going to see her. Now, we already talked about the dinette drawers, which are nice. You can see there's some household outlets down there under that table. Very handy for phone charging, or if you want a little coffee maker, lamp, I don't know, fan, anything over there. Now, neat little detail on the entertainment. Even though this is, again, a more basic, what I call smarter class camper, you can see how Jayco is still running an HDMI cable for you. You know, almost any of those, you know, stereo HDMI units, they have the ability to have an extra HDMI plug, you know, cable run to the back of them. But to save a buck, and I wonder for them, if for the manufacturers, if it's even a buck, most brands won't do it. Again, the stuff others don't, Jayco does. Carpetless, easy cleaning, which is very simple considering this is a no-slide camper. But it, you know, if you're going to be camping someplace where it's sandy, or you got the kiddos coming and going the whole time, it is really nice to have that kind of quality right there. Speaking of quality, you can see the sealed edge counters here in the kitchen. Pocket screwed cabinetry, I believe we already mentioned that. We're also going to take a look at the plywood drawers that pull out here, but real quick, I want to take a special note. This is one of those easy to miss, but I think really awesome updates, that these campers are now able to option in a 12-volt compressor fridge. Now, one of the things I really like about this one is that it's one of the very few I've seen that just has a straight off switch. It seems like most of these 12-volt fridges from the manufacturers, you have to put a 12-volt disconnect switch in, which most manufacturers have been adopting, thankfully, but Jayco found a fridge that, you know, you don't have to worry about it. Down here below the sink, I like that they left us a space for a wastebasket. And by the way, that oven, one of the cool things, that's a Furrion oven. So the sparker knob can actually light the oven, and it has a safety sensor built in. It will not start pumping gas into the oven until it detects the spark. So you might have to spark it 3 or 4 times, but you won't turn the thing into an accidental atomic bomb. Nobody likes that. Again, plywood full extension drawers over here with a, well, 50-pound weight rating or something. It doesn't seem to be something people talk much about anymore. I think because it's become almost standard across the industry. The little kitchen breeze windows there is a nice touch, because between the kitchen breeze window, if your main entry door is open like as a screen door, plus you have that big viewing airflow window by the bed, you have a good view of your campsite. And a taller camper means a taller cabinet over here. Another quick note on that fridge. This normally would have a 6 cubic foot two-way absorption fridge, which is fine. It works just fine. But for like, basically, literally no money, maybe 20 bucks, you can upgrade to this fridge, which cools about 4 times faster and has over 33% more cold storage capacity. This thing's a beast. And if you're curious about off-grid function, these fridges draw so little amperage that even a 100-watt solar panel, given average sun exposure, can give you, with one battery, about 2 weeks of dry camp capability. You add a second battery and you can actually slightly more than double that. Batteries are funny that way when you do that. Plus, remember, this is now roof solar prepped. If you want to go crazy, you want to throw like a 200-watt panel up there, you can camp off-grid indefinitely and still keep that fridge running. Jayco doing Jayco things. Again, if we lift this up, we're going to see plywood. And this is easy to miss. Kind of a storage trunk down there. Now, you're not going to get in and out of that all the time, but it's nice that they didn't waste it, you know. Their bunk mattresses are double the thickness of industry standard. I used to say 50% thicker, but the industry standard got thinner.
Each bunk is also nicely treated. You've got an egress fire escape breeze window down there. Each bunk has its own light. Each bunk has its own type of outlet. Each bunk has its own curtain. So the kiddos are not fighting space for one another. Now, maybe you're using this bunk for storage. You can take this mattress off, throw it down here like a built-in mattress pad, and just have like people sleeping down here. That's what's kind of cool. This is a good guest camper if you're going to have grown-ups over doing grown-up things for a weekend. Not everyone is buying a bunkhouse to camp with kids. Some people want to camp with friends. This is a great way to do that. Throw cargo out there, pull the curtain so nobody sees it. Everybody wins. There's a lot of good going on up here. That window doesn't open for airflow, by the way. I think I accidentally insinuated that. I want to make sure I'm clear. I don't sell based on, misinformation and sleight of hand. I do like that locking bathroom door, though. And this bathroom is great. Huge, humongous shower in this thing. If you got to get in here and wash a Labrador, you can do it. Full shower surround paneling. And what is kind of cool, this is a taller shower because it is a taller camper, which is one of the reasons I personally tend to tool around in a J-Flight. A 6'9" ceiling allows me to stand up here without my head in the skylight. A 6.5-foot ceiling, like most campers in this class, I can stand inside the skylight and be okay. This is not a deal breaker factor for me, but I'm not the one buying the camper. You are. I'm just the one trying to give you information so you can make a better, more educated decision. And if you appreciate that kind of stuff, give our team here at Haylett RV the fair chance to work with you in return for our efforts, please. And real quick before we step outside, check out the lighting package I was telling you in this thing. It's pretty severe, but what is nice is we can still turn them off and on individually. So if you're dry camping, you can make sure you're only using a couple lights. And since it's a taller camper, isn't it nice that they give us a light switch so that you don't have to be tall like me? Not everyone's tall like me. Some people don't want to have to jump to reach their lights. Right away outside as we step out, we are greeted by the optional stable steps that we like to apply here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. They take so much of that herky-jerky wiggle-jiggle out of the camper as everybody comes and goes. I mentioned previously the power awning. It's actually easy tilt and has speakers mounted right in the arm, so when the awning's open, the speakers point down at your site instead of blowing away the neighbors. This is obviously of the silver skin J-Flight generation, which I think really was like a line in the sand for J-Flight, where they really progressed a lot of things, especially here in the SLX series forward. This is more of what I call the smarter class camper, although it has so much of everything that matters that it's easy to kind of mix this and technically it's big brother full J-Flight up because it's so smartly well equipped. Like powered tongue jack on the front doing the heavy lifting for us. If you're towing a trailer like this, unless you got like a 3/4 or 1-ton truck, you should probably be using a weight distribution system on any half-ton or SUV. Well, to do those right, you got to crank the tongue up and down a few times, at least twice. Power tongue jack does the heavy lifting for you. You see that these now finally have a propane tank cover. That was one of those things. I spoke with the brand manager on this. He goes, yeah, the SLXs, we were trying to keep the price point down, but no more than those things cost. It was just silly that we didn't have them. Now, I'm specifically looking at the pass-through storage here on the driver's side to show you it is a full, true pass-through. Big doors on both sides. You can see the bed's easy lift there. You can access it from inside or outside. Either way you go, you're gonna be good to go. And down here, you have the ability to enclose the underbelly of any J-Flight SLX model. Now, it's not specially heated or insulated or Four Seasons magic razzle dazzle. It's just enclosed. It's gonna give you a little more protection from everything, but it is really nice. From stones potentially getting flung off of our best-in-class Goodyear Endurance radials, North American made, only North American made tire used in the RV industry. On our Dexter axles here, that's rated for up to 87 miles per hour. And above our Goodyears, we also have a galvanized steel shield. God forbid that Goodyear radial catches some debris, because any tire could have a flat, especially if you catch some garbage. That will help, protect your RV from getting busted up badly. Right next to that's our sewer hookups, and right above that, our outside shower, hot and cold, and our black tank flush. So, outside shower, black tank flush, UV tinted windows like you're looking at right there. In this class, the smarter class camping, You don't usually get those. It's maybe 50-50 if you're lucky. And J-Flight does it all. The stuff the others don't, Jayco does. That's just what Jayco... When I say Jayco doing Jayco things, that's what I mean. Kind of like J Smart Lighting. That stands for signals, markers, and reverse travel. You see those dual upper clearance lights on the left and right sidewalls? As you flip on your turn signals, those extra lights up top and all of the side marker lights on the side of the trailer, which you're indicating your turn intentions, will blink to give other drivers a better understanding of your intentions and what you're doing on the road. Nice and safe. And the RT and Smart reverse travel, there's white backup bright lights in the taillights so other people know what you're doing. The ladder on the back, optional piece of equipment we like to add to pretty much anything we possibly can, virtually anytime we possibly can here at Haylett RV. And this is one of the nice things right here. This is where it really stands in contrast to something like the 22 MK SE Grey Wolf that we carry from Cherokee here at Haylett RV. Some people go, I love this, but I don't want the camp kitchen. Then call us and ask us about the Grey Wolf, because it just has storage under here. The Jayco has a camp kitchen. It's not optional. Could you remove it? Yes, actually, very easily. Can you save money by ordering one without it? No, you can't. Because it actually becomes a problem for production to break the cookie cutter mold. That's why. But mini fridge, cooker, and a real sink with a real drain out here. How awesome is that? It is a fully equipped camp kitchen. Small, compact, but fully functional. Even the larger entry handle getting us in and out. And then little details like all of our lighting is LED, and we've even got the key-like system so that you don't have to have, you know, the medieval jailer's ring of keys jingling off your hip as you walk around your campsite. One more quick thing before we slide up that ladder and peek at the Magnum Truss roof, the water heater. This is a best-in-class feature that you can't see. It's why I like to talk about it. In this class, you usually have a gas-only and commonly auto-ignition water heater. They will give you roughly up to about 11 gallons of hot water per hour. Jayco, even here in their smarter class campers, still give you a gas and electric fast recharge auto-ignition water heater, meaning you can run both sides at the same time for 17.8 gallons of hot water per hour. Nobody in this class does it better. Nobody. Now, if you're not familiar with Jayco's Magnum Truss Roofing in English, it has the heaviest roof load rating of anybody else in the marketplace. Roughly rated for somewhere between 4,200 to 4,800 pounds per model, 50% more than the next guy, essentially. And notice how all of our fixtures that possibly can be are a stark polar white. It helps reflect heat off of this thing, sunshine, because that's when you're going to be using this camper, is in the spring, summer, fall, sunny seasons. But especially having your AC shroud white, it will make that thing not have to work so hard. If that is black, you're heating the air conditioner that's trying to cool your camper. So that's a smart thing to look for. Not a deal breaker for me. And if I saw a camper had a black AC shroud, it wouldn't really stop me. And if I really felt bad about it, I'd say, hey, Haylett, I love everything about that camper, but it has a black AC shroud, and I feel weird about it. Give us a chance to say, well, what if we just put a white piece of plastic on top of it instead of a black piece of plastic? That's easy stuff, guys. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but this camping thing is kind of popular. Well, as campgrounds have become just overwhelmingly busy, people have taken to alternative locations. So off-grid camping, boondocking, has become very popular, and things like solar capability have become very mainstream things that used to be very niche-based. Even here in a J-Flight SLX camper, the smarter class Jayco camper, we're still roof solar ready, and I am not personally aware of anybody else doing that at this price point. That is another best-in-class quality, of which you've seen like the roof, the warranty, the solar, the tires. There's others I've missed for sure. Jayco has many best-in-class qualities going on in just this little 22-foot box. Pretty impressive. So if you like what you see, you'd like to learn more, or you'd like to take one home, give us a call, because Haylett RV, folks, we do it all. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.